Better futures start with Holland. For all of life's for your family, buying a new home, or owning a new car. Your dream becomes real the moment you believe it can be. Go ka kgonega with Stanbic Bank Botswana. Your dreams matter.
Meaningful sponsorships improve lives. That's why we create and support initiatives that make a real difference by engaging, inspiring, and uplifting communities. It's just one of the ways Holland ensures better futures.
Big and small moments. Temper Holland Insurance Botswana. Our wide range of insurance products guarantee to get you and your loved ones back on track when life hits a short left. Better futures start with Holland.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us this evening on the Premium Business Masterclass. My name is Khutsafalo, and I thought with my team, why don't we pop by and spend the night with you for the couple of minutes that we're going to be with you in this particular show. Welcome, all of you. This has been a great show that we've been organizing every single Thursday evening, courtesy of the Stanbic Bank of Botswana and also the Holland Life insurance company. And today my team and I were here not only on an official show, because today we're not doing anything official. We just got to chill and have a chat with you. We want to know how you guys are doing. You want to know about the things that you enjoyed about this year's show. We want to know about how you're going to spend your Christmas. And then once we've done all of this, we're going to take the time to actually now get to say to you our message for Christmas. This is the time where usually I'll tell people that we'll be right back for the ads. Maybe we should do that. We'll be right back.
Products guaranteed to get you and your loved ones back on track when life hits a short left. Better futures start with Holland.
Right, so in kick-starting the recap of the year, I think what's more significant is to look at the major milestones that we've achieved as a show, where we come from, where we were January 1st until now, and things that has happened even in my own personal life, in my team's personal lives, and the things that we've actually achieved. So if you have any message, any question, anything you want to remind us of as well to celebrate, put it in the chat box down below. I would like to start first with recognizing what I think it's a big filler for me, for the show and for every one of you yourselves who has been a part of this show, a great part of the show ever since we started, not only in January this year, but ever since we started the show back in the years. And you've been with us every single Thursday evening. We've been educating you about things of business, giving you opportunities that you need to be a part of. We've done so many things. I think there have been those significant shows. You remember those shows where I used to be alone and not have a guest? And I was talking to you about so many different things. God will inspire me to talk to you about so many different topics, to deal with how you build yourself as an individual, to build how you feel about yourself. I think those were for me was like the biggest highlight of the year, to have the opportunity to not only instruct you on what you should do, because I don't think I'm that important or old enough in your life. What I could do is to just share ideas and thoughts of what I think your life could be, if at all you can do certain things. Actually, even on Facebook, I've been doing the same thing, and I have great news for all of you if you hang out with us up until the end of the show today. We're going to be live for the next 10 minutes only, and we're going to be out of here. So do stick around, because I am going to tell you about what I am going to tell you about. It's going to be a good news. It's coming tomorrow. Trust me, it's coming tomorrow, but I'll tell you about it today. So what happened this year? I think we had guests. I can remember the first guest that just came into my mind. We've had the likes of Wopeni Niponono, here on the show. We had Apostle David Grace on the show. We had Prophet B.F. Rams on the show. Was it this year? Yeah, it was this year. It was the other year. Seriously, it was the other year. We had Ritanka one on the show. We had who? We've had Miss GK's on the show this year. We've had Kyle, Foster, who was coming from the USA. He was here on the show. We've had who? We've had Palesake Monna. We wanted to have Palesamole. I'll share with you the good news very soon. Don't worry. I'll tell you about it. We've had a number of people on the show, but I think we want to thank God and celebrate God for all of those. We've had a number of times when we recorded videos. Some of them are still putting up on YouTube. You guys can go there and actually see what we've been doing and so on and so forth. I got married. I think it's one of the things to talk about. I'm not going to show you my wife because you've seen her. There was a time I actually thought about it. If I get married, would I get to now come and do a show where I get to say, okay, guys, now here's my wife? Or what? But anyway, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So, but if you have never seen my wife, tough luck. So that happened. I got to be an official RB2 FM presenter. Oh, that was a big one. For a lot of people, like, oh yeah, you deserve it. Just so we're clear, I've heard some, it's not really rumors, it's just suspicions for some people, because my long-term greatest mentor in radio, Ms. GK, is announced in October that she's going to be leaving the show. But she had told me like way before that she's going to leave the show. In fact, in 2019 when we met in the studio, she told me, one day I'm not going to be here, so you need to learn everything that I'm doing and that I'm teaching you, because one day you're going to have to fly on your own and do this. So she has always prepared me for that time. And I think the thing I want to clarify for a fact is that I know how coincidentally it looks like when she left the studio, and then I came in. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, you went and filled her space. No, that's not what happened. It's not only me, it's like 8 of us, new presenters for RB2. This Dimpo was the tour, the DBS tour was happening all around the country. They stopped in Khansi, and she sent in a message on Facebook, and she said, hey, if you guys come to my place, I can actually go and co-host one of the shows with whoever's going to be there. And RB2 management said to her, well, sure, you come through. And she went through, and she co-hosted the show, and she was amazing. And she got hired to be an RB2 presenter. There's so many different people. DJ Chabo, there is Baby Police. Some of you know her. She was once a cop, and then she promoted some event wearing the police uniform. And I think it was one of those, she had to do the live video then, but she was on her way home from work, and she did the thing. It looked kind of weird because it looked like Botswana Police Service is promoting an event, which didn't sound, so she got fired after that. But God being God, God created an opportunity for her to be on the same platform. So I do want you guys to really understand this and know it for a fact. That's not what happened. I didn't fill Miss GK's space. I don't think I'm fit to fill Miss GK's space. I don't think anyone else also is fit to fill her space, because the shoes that she has left there, put our little shoes there, those are the ones we can fill. I think she's done a great job and a great milestone, as a host, as a mentor, as a person, and she still continues to do amazing work for that. I think even this year, that was one of my most moving moments, because I had to, you see, when we say we'll cross those bridges when we get there, and then the bridge comes and you have to cross it. I remember when I was going to the studio, we were doing like the countdown, 4 shows of the October. I did the first one, I counted 3 was left. I did another one, 2 was left. When 2 was left, she didn't come through for our 3rd one. So we were left with 1. So when I went to that one, the last one we did, I don't want to lie to you. Actually, I think I kind of shed a little tear in the car, realizing how truthful that moment actually was. To see someone who believed so much in me, to say, You see, no one knew me in radio or in DBS, in the whole of mass media. No one knew me. No one opened the door. No one gave me a chance to say, hey, you could do this. But when people like Tiny Patswani, who actually is the first person who gave me a chance, she said, come through and let's do this. And I went there and she said to me, Ms. Zukes is here, she's going to show you everything. And she did. And when you hear me on air today, you know, and I do what I do, the way I do it, none of it is original to me because it's what I've been taught, you know, how to do and what I've observed Ms. GKs does. And one of the announcements I'm going to make next year, early next year, is another young person I've given the opportunity that Ms. GKs gave me to groom that person on radio as well, to do what I did. And the ball goes rolling. I think that's the best way to celebrate the legacy of Ms. GKs and so on and so forth. So I'm not going to take any questions about all of that because you already know how it is. But if you are wondering how Ms. GKs is doing well, she did a Casper Nyovest event earlier a few days ago, and the business is yet to grow. She's doing an stellar job. I think she's in a much better place than before. So God is yet to answer my prayer because I really want her on platforms like Metro FM. You know, she's that vibe. She's Metro FM vibe-ish. You know, Good Morning London type of shows. You know, Hello New York type of vibes. That's where I want her. So as much as she was great in our platform and probably the greatest maybe to us, for some of us, but I do know that Ms. GKs has much bigger and much better talent to impact not only our radio waves, but global radio waves. So yeah, what else happened this year? This year has been long. I think for a fact, this year has been very, very long. Yeah, we've got the chance to host the show around different parts of the country. We've been to Francistown, we've been to Piqua as well. We've been to Lesotho, yeah. We went to Lesotho this year. That was amazing. We went to that place, that country full of mountains. It was chilly, I remember that. Some people were flying for the first time in their lives. You know, I would not mention names. You know, others were, you know, having all kinds of experiences. It was exciting. I think for me, seeing how some people, you see, even this kind of a show, you see this show that we're doing now, as you are watching it, there are people who are also watching it in different parts of the country, different parts of the world, and they get blessed. Like one of the things that was a key highlight was seeing, you know, those young people coming through. The first time it happened was after we landed at the airport, we took a car into the city, and then we stopped by KFC, and we were eating. As we were eating, one young lady who was working inside KFC, she came through and she paused. Now, it looked staged, I know, to my colleagues. The lady asked, "Are you Mr. Khutsafalo?" I said, "Yeah, hell yeah. In fact, trust me." I actually expected one of those kind of things to happen because I know the kind of impact this kind of a show has had, you know, all around the world. I read inboxes from such countries and different other countries. Countries like Cambodia, you know, very deep Asia, you know, our friends in East Africa, West Africa who watch this kind of shows. And when we went there, those people come in to say, we've been watching your show, we've been following your show, and we've been doing the best that we can, you know, to learn from it, and you have blessed us, you'll help us to become much better people. And I think that was a heartwarming thing for me, and I think this is where we need to appreciate our team. You know, some of the people that you guys never see, who are behind these cameras, you know, who come here every Thursday to make sure this thing happens, connectivity is proper, you know, every single part of the component of this show as well. They've done the greatest part of it. So I would like at the end to also thank every single brand that you've seen supporting us, you know, the invites, the events we've spoken at, you know, all those kinds. I don't know. I don't know what else to say, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunities that you guys gave us. I hope next year is gonna be a whole lot of a vibe, because we are bringing a whole lot of changes next year. We'll let you know about them as time goes on. So let me take a quick break, ad break, and then we'll come and do the Christmas stuff. Pray for you, hopefully, and then we'll be out of here.
Meaningful sponsorships improve lives. That's why we create and support initiatives that make a real difference by engaging, inspiring, and uplifting communities. It's just one of the ways Hollard ensures better futures.
Let's find new ways to make dreams possible. Whether you are dreaming about starting a new business, securing a good future for your family, buying a new home, or owning a new car, your dream becomes real the moment you believe it can be. Khutsafalo with Stanbic Bank Botswana. Your dreams matter.
Right, it's time for some great Merry Christmas. Do you guys realize my voice sounds different? Yeah, does it sound different? It sounds kind of, how does it sound? It sounds kind of, you know, my wife is doing this, you know. Yeah, she's saying my voice sounds like, you know, this sort of thing, huh? I agree with my wife. Yeah, hey, I'll get used to this my wife thing, hopefully, very soon. And for some of you, like some guy, I've been doing this all the time with my left hand. Trust me, I've been doing this all the time. Now, to some people, it seems as if ever since, you know, that people can call you to come and tell you, yo, I'm seeing you live on Facebook, you know. Please give to my wife. So when I do this, people are like, hey, you are showing us the ring. I'm not showing you the ring. Okay, I'm not showing you the ring. What was I to do? Yes, wish you a Merry Christmas. Now, to wish you a Merry Christmas, I want to do it in this manner. I know a lot of people who, you know, have all sorts of understandings, all sorts of theories that they believe. There are people that don't believe in Christmas itself. I mean, we're not as white to the level of Christmas of not believing in the existence of Santa Claus. I'm not talking about that. I hope you don't believe in Santa Claus. In the reality, you know, that people who believe in Santa Claus, like those who believe wrestling is a real, you know, thing, not a sport that is being choreographed and practiced and every stand to the T. Scripturally speaking, the 25th of December does not speak about the birthday of Jesus Christ. For some of you, this is news to you, but the fact remains that if you were to go and read in Ecclesiastes, I'll get the scripture for you. My mother is the one who showed me. That was the first time ever my mother opened the scripture, and I was like, wow, okay? She taught me this. So there used to be this king who was worshipper of Baal. Can't remember the name of that guy. And he is. And then it was the people who had the calendar power of the Roman influence. And because of that, those people influenced the celebration of that son's birthday worldwide. And then it went on to be the celebration of the birth of Jesus. So there's no scriptural reference or proof that Jesus was indeed born on this day. And now, there are people who want to use this as a reason not to celebrate Christmas. And I want to bring you to this understanding. I think, to me, in my opinion, it's not about was Jesus born on the 25th of December or not. The big question is, was he born? And if he was born, that's the most important part of that birth. Whether you celebrate it in December or in July, as some people believe that's Jesus' actual birthday, it doesn't really matter. What matters here is Jesus was born for you. And God gave you, as the Bible speaks in Isaiah, that unto us a son was born, and to us, and unto us a child was born, and to us a son was given. The fact remains that we are celebrating the birth of the revolution of our lives. So that's why we're celebrating this. Now, I don't have a problem with celebrating on the 25th of December in the spirit of Christmas, Thanksgiving, and so on and so forth. It doesn't really matter. It's like celebrating the birthday of your grandmother, if you have a grandmother like mine. So my grandmother doesn't know when exactly she was born. You know, she was like, we were born in the time of when there was locust. I'm like, when was that? Like no one ever knows. So we don't know the exact age of my grandmother, so we just assume I think she's 90 this year, yeah, or 89 this year, 90 next year. But the truth here is, it doesn't really matter when. What matters is my grandmother was born. And because she was born, my mom was also born. And because my mom was born, I was also born. So we decided when we want to celebrate the birthday of my grandmother. So whenever we have time, we just say to her, "Happy birthday, Grandma." And she's like, "Oh, thank you." She's those type where, like, her mom also, we didn't know exactly when she was born. So we in her program, we just wrote 19XX. If she was born in the XX of XX, 19XX, or 18X, I think it was 19XX, something like that, because we are not accurate. So back to my point. My point here is, do you believe that Jesus was born? If yes, that's all you need. So go home, people. Go and kill your cattle and your cows and your goats. I think the most important part of it is spending time with family. I watched a movie, and I want you guys, when you get the time, to watch this movie. It's on Netflix. I'll get the title of the movie before I close. My wife will remind me. What was the name of that movie? Hey guys, please excuse my wife this, my wife that, okay? Happy I have to, right? Happy I have to. Is there any one of you have an issue? What's the name of that movie where I was watching? The one with the Italian food and stuff, of that woman who was going around the world finding herself. The one who went to Bali. I'll try to remind myself of the movie. But the important part of it is that in that movie, there was a very important thing that happened, that I learned, that I want to share with you. The man was an Italian man, and he said to this woman, he said, the difference between an Italian and an American is that Americans overwork themselves so hard, and when they get little time they call holidays and vacations, they subject themselves to all kinds of entertainment and not pleasure. I mean, to me, it sounded very deep, because you can be a part of an entertainment platform and it doesn't feed you with the pleasure, because pleasure has to deal with internal titillations. I think there's a word you've learned this year, is titillation. You know, it has to exude some kind of refreshing inside of you, some kind of joy and excitement inside of you. This is why you can go from club to club, party to party, song to song, do all this. And after this moment of what you were doing finishes, the joy of them, they go away with those events. So this is why people go this and then there. They're part of so many different entertainment platforms. But these platforms does not really feed them with the joy and the pleasure that they need to have. So I got that, and I said, you see, that's what we need to do this December, something different. So what is one thing that will actually feed you internally with the joy? I'm not saying don't go for entertainment, but if you do only entertainment and not things that are going to feed you with real, true joy, like spending time with your family. I know some of you will be like, when I eat my zika. Look, I'm a person who comes from a family that, say 10, 15 years ago, we could not sit in the same place and sit in peace. We couldn't spend the whole day peacefully so. We couldn't. Some people didn't even come home for the sake of peace. Others we just needed to stay apart, and that's the only time we are peaceful. But come together, it was not. Today I know families, people by Lahore, when you imagine your family right now, you've been in Gaborone for over 10 years. In fact, you've created your own family members. You try to go to their families in December and fit in and be that adopted son. When they're hugging to say, this is our family picture, you just get into the picture, you feel awkward because that's what you're calling family and all of that. There's nothing wrong with it. But deep down in you, you know there is a void that needs to be filled. And that's what I'm talking about. What's happening to your family? Have you noticed what's happening back home? Many yards and many plots and many houses are turning into be absent, unoccupied, dusty places because families are breaking apart, families are staying apart. Others are getting married and fly off with their children. Others, because of, 15 years ago, you didn't speak well to me. You didn't treat my children well. When I asked you to water the plants, you didn't. When you did that, your chicken ate my vegetables, and so on and so forth. So, and those are the reasons why most of us to this day, we're still not talking to each other. We're still not going to the village. Even when you are going to the village, you are going there for 15 minutes to drop the food, and then you are saying, can I mean I was going to homecoming, I was going to born and raised. And you've been doing that all around the year. I ask you for this year to be your year of difference. Try this. Go to your family and spend time with your family. See if this will make any difference in your life. So, with that said, for my team and I, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm not going to be live on that 31st. The other thing I want to say to you here, that is a difference. This one you don't have to take my advice on it. But if you feel I'm talking to you, you must do this. Always. And I mean always. Like always. Khaoganya dingwaga in the house of God. Khaoganya dingwaga in the house of God. See if this will make a difference in your life. You see people, when the people say, happy, people do all kinds of things. I want to be the first person to kiss a girl in 2023. Happy! And that's it. Others, I want to be there and seeing all the fireworks going, Others are like, I want to be at the kettle post and we are watching and that and that and that. How long have you been doing this? And how has it been feeding you and your destiny and stuff? You see, as for me and several other people, we've made this covenant with God a number of years ago. I can be anywhere in the world, but on the 31st of December at 23:59, it doesn't matter where, I'll be in a church, always. And then it went on to get to a stage where when it's 23:59, I'm at my church, always. I remember my wife that last year actually. So we went somewhere and the trip was going to overextend. I said, no, it's not happening. We drove all the way until we arrived here at night. I think around this time, we got here and we attended the crossover service there. So it's more than that. So because if you have been wondering what is the secret of my life, at 000, the 1st of January, any year, I'm on my knees. And I'm thanking God for the new year. And I'm listening to Him telling me what the year is going to be about. And I embrace Him. I shout Happy New Year after I get off my knees. Because I used to think, I'm supposed to be shouting with the people. And God said to me, if you want to move with the masses, you will never lead or control the masses. You cannot change the multitudes if you are like them, if you are with them. In fact, what's special about shouting Happy New Year 000? The guys in Taiwan have long done that 5 hours before you. When exactly is the new year? Why didn't we shout Happy New Year with the first people to ever shout it? Because then that will be accurate. So even after you shout Happy New Year, 7 hours later, the guys in America are going to be shouting Happy New Year. Actually, there was a guy last year who was flying, not in 2019, who was flying all across the world to enjoy New Year in different countries as he went far west into America. So you don't have to agree with me on this one, but if it means something to you, you might want to try that. So please try that. Go to the house of the Lord this year. I'm not saying come back to Gaborone. There's a church in where you are coming from. Ask your family, can I go? You pray there when the years are doing this, and then that's it. And then you go back home, and then you join the fireworks. The funny thing about Mahalape is that every year, the last hour of the year, there is no our house, our yard, our hood. You can find yourself 10 kilometers far from your house because everyone gets out of their house. We all go into the streets. We join every house, any other house. We just get in there, happy, kissing grandbabies, happy. But you don't even know who these people are. You just meet them on the way. We hug each other. Like I think we sleep around 3 a.m. or so. So you just go everywhere, Happy New Year. From what to what? I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. The last time I was in Mahalape for crossover, I did that thing. That was 2012 when I was doing crossover in a house and not in church. 2012. We would go everywhere, hug everyone. Like you will find yourself 10 kilometers away from your house. And you are a child. You don't know who else of the group you are with is from your hood. You don't know who you are with, how are you going to go home. It doesn't really matter. It's the spirit of Christmas. Anyway, Merry Christmas, guys, and Happy New Year. For those of you who want to continue with following this next year, thank you. We promise to improve our service, our content, our value proposition. We still have more platforms even on air. Catch me live on RB2 every Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Also, we have another show on Sunday, 9 p.m. to 12. I do appear every now and then, here and there on radio, 9 to 12 in the morning. I think between now and the end of the year, I'm going to be doing the show 9 to 12, except from the 27th until the end of the year. But the first week of the year, I'll still be doing the 9 to 12 a.m. a tech shop for DJ Govea. And sure, so all of you who are watching us here live and you've never known this happens, but you follow us on radio, thank you. It's been a great pleasure. So I think I should stop here, guys. So Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, wish your family well. Go give someone something, even if it's just a stock suit. Learn this thing to give someone something. See, that Nigerian brother I was talking about, he was telling me that because what happened was I was buying food, but then he was giving another man food, like a homeless guy. And the man was saying, thank you so much. Maybe I should wash your car and and show my appreciation. The man said, look, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for myself. And then he said to me after this man left, he said, when you do good to another person, the spirit of that person prays for you without you or that person knowing. When he eats the food and his body is being nourished, the body says thank you to God. God looks at you in a certain way. I think most of you are still surviving because of the good deeds you've done in the past, and you didn't realize it when you were just holding the door for the next person, when you shared an opportunity on Facebook with someone, you send a word of encouragement to someone, you bought something, you gave something that was very precious to you, and you did all of this acts of kindness, in the spirit of thanksgiving, those things are going to be coming before God as memorial, good memorial before you. There are stages of life, no prayer you can utter with your mouth is enough. But giving the goodwill of others concerning you and the things you've done for the people the way you touched lives, those will be the only things that are memorable before God. And He can look at you with the eyes of grace and mercy. Anyway, I can take for long, but the last message is to every one of you who's been trying to plan a trip to your village and it's not happening. Let me confirm it to you. Do not go. I'd be like, you are one of them. Don't go. Don't force trips. I was telling my team here that, you see, some decisions are not as easy as you think they are. When you leave your house to turn left or to turn right, you're not choosing paths to anywhere. You are choosing destinies. This trip to your house is not just a trip to your house. The trip to your village is not just a trip to your village. It could be something that totally changes your life forever. And you could find that actually God is doing you the favor of making sure some elements are not coming together in order for you not to go. I'm talking about some special cases here. And I know when you know, because your heart will tell you, don't go. Some of you, actually, your heart is telling you, do not go. Please listen to your heart. I know your heart is deceitful and it is wicked, who can know it? But God also uses the same heart to speak to you. If your heart is telling you, do not go, please do not go. I know how that event is so special to you. It's your grandmother's 90th birthday. You could just be choosing something you don't want to choose for yourself. So do not go. But for some of you, the devil is fighting you, of course. Fight and go. But there is one of you, I'm talking to you. Don't go. Even if the money came, don't go. Because your heart told you to not go. Don't force that car to go. Don't. Yeah. God sees something more than you can see. Anyway, I guess I'm done. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. How do we do it? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. and follow us on radio. Follow us on the Premium Masterclass next year, and so on and so forth. Until that time, God bless you. Asante sana. My wife says, Merry Christmas.